hype.
So this is the thing, like, I don't mind. Like, if you're a reporter, you report. You go and give your opinions. I back you. You know, like Stephen A. Smith, he does some stuff and he stirs the pot a lot. A lot of these like reporters, you know, they just kind of put their personality into it, and it's cool. And I accept that. I'm cool with you guys doing that. Like, I want you to do that. But you have to be able to back that up. What you state, you have to state, well, the reason why I believe this is because on this date, this date, this date, this fight, this fight, this fight, this is how he performs, this is what he does, and these are the typical things. So this is my assumption of whenever I go in here. And it's an assumption. It's not an observation, and it's not a report because it hasn't happened. You're observing. You haven't observed it because it still hasn't happened. You're just thinking about what you have seen, which what have you really seen? And like he just pretty much said that there's no doubt in my mind that Julian will come at the worst possible game plan for Sam Alvey and come out with a 60% chance winning. And then you read on it, then he starts saying like all he's going to do is clinch and try to brawl and wrestle him until or make it more of a fight for Sam Alvey because that's what he does. And it's like, but what are you basing that off of? Like, where is your arrogant fact that you're trying to tell me? And it's like, and it just kind of, I don't mind that you're doing that. Like, it doesn't matter. Talk all you want negative on me. But my only response to him is I'm not mad at the comment. It's just like, I don't want to support the Bloody Elbow because this is the second time I've seen them in a couple months have written two just negative things about me. And it's like, they don't support me. They just support their own idea of me, and they only support what they can make headlines for. So I just told him, I was like, well, I'm just not going to do any Bloody Elbow interviews. And then he said it was extreme, or he's like, it's a little extreme. I'm not going to argue with you. But it's like, it's there's nothing you can argue about. You literally, like, you're not supporting me, so why should I support you? So where's the argument? And it's like, dude, look, be your reporter, do what you want to do. You're not harming me, you're not hurting me. But when I call you out and you have no facts base behind it of why you said what you said and you don't have a reason, you're just giving out an assumption, you're not reporting, you're educating people on false stuff that you think you know, which you really don't.
Well, and the lack of empathy as well. Like he didn't even say like maybe I should have worded that a little bit better. There was none of that. It was just like, this seems extreme, putting it back on you, which I thought wasn't good either. Kind of on that same note, and you've talked to me even before this happened. I know you do very limited media, and super thankful to be one of those people that gets to do interviews with you. But did that change after the Miley Cyrus thing, where a lot of people are kind of just running with this narrative of like, oh, he blew it and all that, or was it even before this when you're kind of like, you know what, I'm not going to give these people the time of day if they're going to trash me?
Yeah, no, actually, I mean, with the Miley Cyrus deal, what kind of pissed me off, and if you watch my pre-fight interviews at UFC, I played it as a game show. If you ask good questions, I'll answer it. If you have terrible questions, I'll give you a buzzer. And the reason why is that, look, James, like, you and I both know it's not hard to be a reporter. And there are just better reporters than others. There's a lot of people that out there that try to be reporters, things like that. But the questions are all the same. They're literally repetitive. So I did like 15 interviews, 16 interviews. I had even people like screaming at me, getting mad in text messages because I would like postpone their interview. I was like, hey man, I'll get back to you. Let me get these interviews out of the way. And they would get pissed off at me because I wasn't giving them the time. It's like, I didn't have time. But I had 15 interviews across the span of a week. I didn't have any time for myself. I was just on my phone. I had 110 hours of screen time that week. Think of that, 110 hours of screen time. I was on my phone more than I was asleep. And I was just like, it bummed me out. Like, it bummed me out because they would ask the same stuff. They didn't care about me. They cared more about what's going on with Miley. And then when I put the tweet out of what I did, then they want to bash down and then say negative stuff like, oh, you blew it. And it's like, you guys literally just wanted a headline. You just wanted to make your your interview read by someone, and you would alter the headline that had no relation of what my interview was about. You would do it to make me look bad, and it was just like, you guys literally changed. And I mean, you guys, I mean the interviewers that I won't interview with. They alter it to make their site more clickbait, and like they really don't give a shit about me, because they talk shit on me in all of their interviews afterwards. Yet this time they all asked me to be on their fucking show, and now they're upset that I'm not going to be on their show. It's like, come on, dude. Like, you guys are assholes.
Let's kick it off, jab, cross to the beat, beating you MMA, heat is the main course of the feast. Lynch on sports, the force, he's got his ears to the streets. Uppercutting with knowledge, shaking the brain with breakdowns of the game with that original flow. Head kicks with the pros, picks of the fights or anything in the mix.